I got them there, yeah. I promise.
There we go. Got microphone for each of you, they all work.
Seriously? I don't need a mic.
Yeah, I've got to say that. I've got to say that myself.
Well, photo time again, guys. That time of the year again. Perfect.
Phoebus being Phoebus.
Yes, I mean, I'm Korean.
That's going on.
So I should run a thing, like contest. Where's the ovation? Where is the ovation?
Come
on! Come on, I can't hear you! Louder! Louder! There you go. That's the way to do it. We brought something for you. Okay.
That's the first question.
Okay. When do you want it? Yesterday. Sounds good. What? Pardon?
Go start for 5 minutes, he said.
Can you raise the magenta, please?
Do you want to see it again?
Yes.
Maybe. All right. In this you trust.
We'll be here.
We won't need a Kickstarter for, and the reason is that I'm going to make a gold one and send it to Donald Trump. Then this will reach every American school in 30 seconds. That's a good idea.
Might work.
Huh? Make America British again. And of course we're going to have a different king. King Enrique. Because he's the master.
I'm ready to rule.
There you go. With a broken leg.
Yes.
Oh. Thank you. Then what? You broke something?
No.
Hi. That's not helpful. Can you hear me? If I turn it off, can you hear me better?
Go for it. You start now. You got extra 5 minutes.
What? I can start now.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. Thank you for being here. Thank you for filling up the room. We brought you some new friends with us today. Well, the other core author is not here. He left. Is he? Where the hell is he? Oh, he is here. Why don't you come up here? Introduce yourself.
This is the Amstrad core.
Well, they're not just the Amster core. There's a Sam core coming. The poor relative down there. So we have Richard. We have Theo. I did the QLC 64 course. I know you hate it all, but you're all going to play with it. I know. So
We love it.
yeah, well, you need to play Commando in Brown. You know that. You know you need to. I have back from the dead Matt, because he had disappeared for a little while. He's going to actually bring us the part 2 of Mike Singleton's magnum opus, I would say. You got me, unfortunately. You stuck with me, bastards. And the master of the universe again. He wasn't here last year, so I had to bullshit you all day long. There are a few things we need to go about. First of all, give you a more updated update since the last update. Because, we need to get out of the way. We had some issues, as everybody knows, with Kickstarter and installment payments. We're going to figure that one out soon, because it seems at first that it's very easy to solve, like people that missed their payment have to come and pay us. But there are accounting issues, because Kickstarter pays a lump sum, and then we enter it in the books in a certain way. And if you, like somebody that missed the payment pays us, it's a completely different set of rules. We need to figure that one out, but nobody has to worry. Everything, like all the missed payments will be dealt with. I haven't missed that mine. Don't worry, so I really know.
Why did you buy it is something I don't understand.
What?
Testing the system. I guess.
I buy it. Because if I don't trust what I'm building, what the hell am I doing here?
Okay, okay.
You bought your own. Why are you complaining?
I know, but
Really?
your money went enough brain damage. You're not.
You bought him.
I'm not. Yes. We all bought it.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but he said he's brain damaged. What about me? I mean, I have petrol hair.
For them.
If you're married, petrol is a color, okay? It's not a fuel. So, that's the one thing out of the way. We have several things to announce. One of the things is about the games that are progressing very nicely. Some of them haven't started quite yet, but they're programmed to start. We have news on Target Renegade. It's coming along also nicely. And Monty Mole, I hope you saw it. And if you haven't, get your asses over there and play it, because it's really cool. Not because I'm involved, but it's a really cool game. And Flash was
He's not
very
even
shy.
in the
No,
room.
he's shy. He's
He
a shy
knows,
bastard.
he knows we will call up on him, so he is hiding somewhere.
Yeah,
He's guarding the prototype copy of Monty Mole. He can't let it
really now.
Are you guys okay with this projector or prefer us on the mic, by the way?
It's fine.
Fine? Okay, good.
You can hear us. It can be ultra quiet.
No.
Okay, what else we had? Oh yeah, we had a little snag with the prototypes, but thank goodness we solved it. Because I need to say it because I'm gonna call them up on this. Sorry, I got upset.
Ignis.
Ignis. So Ignis is doing the redesign, and we have to because it's compliance and all kinds of regulations we need to go through. But we ordered our first prototypes to test, and they asked 12,000 pounds for them. Yeah, and I told them. That's what I told them. Sorry. You shouldn't tag Ignis there. Okay, thank you. Or edit it out. There, thank you. No, they're actually quite good. Let's be fair. It just they charge a crap load of money. So our manufacturer will actually do the test boards, and I think we're gonna have like the first production maybe next week. So from then on, the machines are going to core authors. Mr. Theo. Where you at? You hiding again?
Yeah, I'm
You're Hermione today? He's Hermione today. Let your hair down. Okay. Up to him. And the rest is going to go to the team, me included, and Michael and Alan and Gary and Tim, especially Tim because he digs out bugs like there's no tomorrow. And after that, after we're actually sure that everything works and we exhaust all avenues of testing and all problems that can be fixed, then it goes production. Production, unlike last time, we don't expect any huge snags because we did our due diligence and we ordered all the important parts early. Because last time we did not know what was going to happen. We changed FPGAs along the way. There was a lot of things going, and we had a lot of problems with mold production. If you come, and you're welcome to come to the room and see, if you see this is straight as an arrow. It came out right the first time, which means our partner actually got it right this time. So we're very, very happy with how this is progressing. And not only this, but because it's the same manufacturing process, it will do the black ones as well, like really, really, really well. So we don't expect like the back and forth we had last time, like we were sending demos back to Enrique and Phil, and Phil's missed, but he's invaluable partner to this. Phil, if you don't know, Phil Candy is our late designer, Rick Dickinson's partner. And he's actually, to an extent, done more than even Rick to get this to your hands. So it's right that we recognize him at every first possibility that we can. And so, hooray, Phil Candy, he's really an amazing dude. Yeah. We can say that because Phil was a little bit involved with aluminum production, we might, for shits and giggles, produced like a fully aluminum version of it. And Mike will be very happy if we do that. Like cardboard. We have to thank again Mike for like the last 2 Kickstarters. Without it, we wouldn't have a Next at this point. So please, a big hand for him. Video. All right, where was that? Yeah. After that, after we do the testing, we expect about a 2 or 3 week manufacturing process. The biggest snag we'll have is shipping. So I'm letting you know, it's not the final shipping. It has to come to Europe and to the UK before it can get distributed because of tax reasons. If we ship the way things are now out of China, people will have to pay extra. A lot more money, and we have a lot of customers in Europe, and we can't allow them to pay out of their own pockets. You understand this? It's complicated to do with China, with Temu and AliExpress and all these manufacturers. Shine, everybody's taking action now. They're charging extra stuff for every packet, and we can't risk it. It has to come to Europe, so taxes can be paid, and to Britain. So taxes can be paid and then can be shipped to you without any actual cost. This has small problems, which is shipping the containers through China and go down like, you know, the Arabian Sea, and then you have the Houthis. And rockets. And they don't like spectrums very much, I guess. Not people that don't speak Arabic.
Commodore 64 fans.
Yeah, they're Commodore 64 fans, yes. And MSX, yes, bastards.
Yes.
We did our best this time around. We're going to have an Arabic version of ZX Spectrum inside the distribution, so you'll get an Arabic Spectrum as well. Together, we tried our best, really, but I don't know. So there is a possibility we'll have
It's true,
to.
by the way. The
Yes.
ROM supports Arabic.
We do have the ROM.
Yeah.
It is actually, we have the rights from the guy that wrote it. So it was used, the University of Cairo had actually produced it, and I got in contact with the guy that actually wrote it and sent it to me. So if you're into Arabic, for some reason, then, you know, you're playing with Duolingo, or you know what's going to happen in the next 100 years, and you have to learn Arabic from now, then you can use a Spectrum doing it. So there is a possibility that we'll have to ship by train, which sounds weird, but it will have to go through Mongolia, go down, and then go through Turkey, and then go up through Bulgaria and up in Romania and stuff to end up in Poland, then get shipped to Germany before we can start shipping. This is not sure and certain at this point, but this is our the biggest problem we're going to have. Everything else is being streamlined. We did, as I said, the due diligence, and we started really early. So, because we know some stuff happens. If there's a Next produced, there's either, I don't know, a tsunami, like a nuclear accident, a war, COVID, something, or Enrique breaks his leg. I told him break a leg unless we get it fast, and he did.
I thought it was true. Yeah.
Jesus. And but overall, I think this time around we're going really quickly, and you know, without many issues. I know there are a lot of changes. Well, 3 changes basically on the machine itself.
Four changes.
Only 4. What have the Romans ever done for us? Apart from sanitation. Roads. Apart from roads, sanitation, roads.
Turbo loading.
Turbo load. Apart from sanitation. Another thing we need to know, because actually we're very close in signing the deal with the C64 ROMs. I actually responded yesterday.
Yeah,
I didn't know you
yeah.
saw that. And we might even do it tomorrow. It happens. Yes?
Which Commodore are you signing the deal with the ROMs for?
The ROMs.
Oh, no, really?
No, the ROMs are Cloanto.
The ROMs are Cloanto.
Okay.
They're
Mike.
always Cloanto. There will never be somebody else.
Okay.
Cloanto gives the license. They own the license, and if they sell it, that's a
Until
different story.
certain YouTuber buys them.
What?
Until a certain YouTuber buys them.
Well, you know what? He might have bought Commodore, but I don't think that Mike is. You know,
They're likely going to work together, right?
they will work together. Obviously, I don't think there's a problem. I mean, Mike likes to work with everyone.
Yeah.
He was very kind to us. We did the initial deal last time in Redcon. It was May 30th.
Yeah, early this year, yeah.
We discussed it and just shook our hands. That was
On
it.
the spot, yeah.
On the spot.
Yeah.
It was,
And Perry Fractic, the guy who is involved in buying Commodore, he did a shout for us as well. He's a big fan of the Next. So
and
it's,
we actually did that. We actually bought Commodore 64s, the new ones. There are 2 copies coming to me and Enrique.
yeah.
I got one. Are we going to see a next score on the Commodore then? Are you going to
Ooh.
play?
Look,
Yeah, it's only fair, isn't it?
it is
It is
possible,
only fair,
and
yeah.
we welcome it. We welcome every. As a matter of fact, once we finalize the designs for the issue 5, which is going to be at whenever we test the board out, and we're absolutely certain that everything works. We're going to send it out to Manuel and Superfo,
Yeah.
and whomever wants it to produce a clone. What do you want to produce a clone? Can you?
Want it on the 64?
Huh?
Want it on the Bread and the Ultimate?
You can do whatever the hell you want. It's open source. No. We want, like right now, we have about 30,000 machines out in the open.
Yeah.
Like Next and Next compatible alike, and I'm not including cores that are not do not work very well, not haven't been updated for long, like Mister and because they don't work that well. But like actual clones, and we have like 3, like 2 real ones and one that's very. It's the Karabas, if anybody knows, it's Russian. We have 3 clones basically out, and they're going to have more versions out, and we welcome every single one of them. At Redcon, me and Enrique said we want to build a critical mass of users that can actually support developers by just existing and be fans of the machine. And we have been here for a long time. Now, our next goal is double that. And I think with your support, we can do it. And with the developer support, with the grand software we can see, we saw today what was it? The come on, the shooter.
Oh, yes.
Ray gun.
Ray gun.
Ray gun. If anybody's seen that, they should see it. It's freaking amazing. It actually is the first application we see that's other than software that runs on the in the OS, that's included in the OS, that actually uses the Pi. It calculates the bullets, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, right.
The position and stuff. The thing looks like an arcade machine. It's like it blew my mind. And it uses the Next at certain points, like we'd like to see Spectrum games that are distinctly Spectrum games, but with a fresh twist. But we also want to see what if you push the machine it can do, and this does that. So we're going to try to work with them and actually give them a little what if we can improve the Pi a little bit, or see what he needs to use so we can actually provide that. Because if it's the first, then others will follow.
It was always my ambition that the Pi would do a lot of heavy lifting for things that you can free up the Z80 to do otherwise. Right? It's the first time I see the Pi taking heavy load, calculating all the bullet positions on that bullet hell game. So that bodes well for calculating projection matrices for 3D games and things like that. So there is a lot of stuff that the Pi could be doing to free up the hardware of the Next to be doing far more. So I'm very excited to see it happening already. So
is there a possibility then that maybe some of these enhancements that you're willing to share with this developer can be elaborated more in the forthcoming Next manual for the release?
The Raspberry Pi has its own documentation, so it's a separate part from the manual. We can expand the manual very much because we have a certain amount of room we can use. Okay,
to fit in the box.
to fit in the box. The difference, you can't believe the difference in shipping nowadays. If you see from
Yes,
drop the HDMI
Make
completely.
a bump for the HDMI, make a bump.
a bump on the box.
I need a bigger box. I was
You
about
know
to say
what?
that-
You know what happens when you give a box is actually bumped. on the bump. People ask for a new box, and we can't afford to do that. Sorry.
There's also third-party books, like Simon
Yeah.
over there has written
We
one,
have a very good book here.
yeah, so.
And I'm pretty sure if we actually improve the next Pi version, Simon will write something about it. No, he won't. He won't. Trust me. He's gonna kill me. That was a joke. Sorry.
But if you can't program, write books.
Yeah. Sorry.
But don't forget, it's a community. Anyone can write anything.
Yes, that is true.
So hardware aside, we feels very much on track and things are going as planned. Touch wood.
We wouldn't hit.
The whole ecosystem of the software is what really it's picking up speed right now, right? So it's the first time we're investing on APIs and engines that will help developers create new stuff for the next. We have two in production right now. We have a multiplayer engine that's using a football game as the test, the litmus case for its implementation. That's already working well.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The second one is I started making a 3D engine, then Dean Belfield came in and offered to help, and he did it like 10 times faster and much more efficiently than I could ever dream of doing, and already reached a state of maturity that I can go back, let alone proper developers, and make games on top of it. So we now have a 3D engine that is mature enough to be used in both assembly and C. And we have a multiplayer engine that is reaching a mature state that in probably a couple of months will be ready for developers to tack on and start making multiplayer games for the next. So it feels like we are about to reach this watershed moment that a host of new games can be made for the next.
And applications.
And applications, which is surprisingly the momentum that we got since we announced Kickstarter has been immense. We were in Redcon announcing that we just broke 200 games exclusively for the next, which I never thought would be possible. Like 200 titles made for the next is mind-blowing. My collection on the wall is already kind of, I need to extend the shelves to be able to put more boxes in there of games.
Maybe if you didn't buy issue 1 Spectrum.
Yes.
Well, you have a Timex Sinclair. mint
Yeah, but
condition.
that's you gave me.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't need anything else.
Yes,
And then you have an X. You don't need other Spectrums.
fair enough.
You
But
all
just
might be.
since Redcon to today, another 50 games have been added to the library. So it's growing at a much higher speed. It's literally hockey sticking the amount of titles that are coming. So I'm very excited to what 26 is going to hold in terms of who's going to come to the fold and put a spin on new games and what these games are going to do with the technology they're making available for everybody now. And I'm very keen to add the support for the Raspberry Pi accelerator to see what people come up with. That's a whole new horizon that I'm super excited with.
There's a very important thing that we need to, and I get reminded constantly, and rightfully so, that we also need to document everything 10 times as much. Because the more you get stuff, the more documentation you need, and the more up-to-date needs to be, and more comprehensive it needs to be, and linked together. I want to have a lot of stuff on the Next, so it's available to people, because for me, specifically, and for us, but I'm very particular about that. I'm of that school, because I need anyone to be able to use just the Next to develop, if at all possible. You don't need another machine to do it. It's here. Everything you need is right here, and it's also looking good. But the whole point is that apart from doing development tools elsewhere, you need to be able to not forget this and provide development tools right here with this. That requires documentation. Matt is helping immensely with that. Next Guide doesn't get enough credit, and he's working on it to make it better, thanks to suggestions by Simon.
And yourself.
And myself and other people. We're not the only ones. Now, right now, every time we release a game, actually a game that I build the distribution for, because the distribution, as you know, is not. We give it away for free, but you're not allowed to download in other place than Spec Next. But people that makes auto starting games need that to be able to do that. All the documentation right now is a Next Guide form. because you know it was a really useful tool, and you can write it on the Next. We have a good editor now, and actually more on the way.
You've got
And a
spreadsheet.
C compiler?
There's a spreadsheet available on the next.
A spreadsheet is available on the Next. I can actually do basic calculations that I need for the Next team and keep stuff on my Next. I don't need to go to a PC anymore.
I get a lot of pressure also to finally release Odin in a usable form, so you have a little editor assembler.
It has
on
a
the Next.
very nice logo.
Yeah, thanks like this.
I designed this. Other than that, I
Best
can't,
logo, right?
the best logo ever. Other than that, I can't comment.
But the fact that we have a C compiler running on the Next,
That's true, yeah.
that is a big thing.
Well, hopefully, you know, with a host of assemblers, a host of compilers, more languages. We have a
Fourth
BBC.
is coming.
Fourth is coming. BBC Basic is running already. We need to build even more, and we're trying hard to do that. Just the fact that you see games or only discussions about building the hardware, it's because that's what people need to know right now or are excited to know. Behind the scenes, we're working really hard on keeping documentation. I've been spending, because I've redesigned the site, like Enrique has seen the basic form of it, but I've deleted tons of articles. It will be still archived, but it's marked as obsolete. We're trying to get the up-to-date information and keep it all in one place, because it's very difficult to go pick and choose whomever gives you, you know, this piece of information is up to date if you get it like at Simon's site or my site or your site or Chris Wilkins' site. We need to put it all together, and that's what we're working on as well. There's a lot of tiny little things that go underneath. I get grief for the QL documentation, rightfully so. It's part of that. Okay, we have finally, well, yeah, hopefully we're going to finish it today and release it. We might get delayed one day because my laptop died. Sorry, it happened. Don't look at me. I didn't do anything. It's going to be, well, he has a laptop too. Don't worry, we'll take care of it. I don't have a Next with me. That's the problem.
That boots.
That boots I know, but it was too pricey. I don't have my editors.
Excuses.
Sorry. Anyway,
Where'd you get him, Enrique?
narcotics. You gave me narcotics.
Homework as well, Phoebus.
What?
Did the dog eat your homework as well?
No, I don't have a dog. I never did homework anyway. At least I was truthful enough to say, you know, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I was playing Bruce Lee.
Me too.
Yeah,
But
but the
the-
documentation, we hope as well to have it a more interactive way, right? Everybody
Yes,
can
that's why.
contribute to it.
Yes, but again, we run the problem that the documentation in Wikiform is hit and miss, because somebody might actually go in and change it. We had an example recently about what constitutes a clone of the Next and what's a copy of Next emulator. It was all wrong. The guy that wrote it had every good intention, but you know, he wrote that, we had to fix it. In the end, I went in and did it. We need a little bit of central authority for that, so the wiki won't completely work. Sadly, it's the case. So authoritative documentation is also a big challenge we're gonna tackle and finish this year, hopefully. Well, the more stuff they build, the more stuff they add, the more complex it becomes. But you know, it's my fault here, and you can see me. If something is missing, don't look at them, look at me. It's my fault. You can call me up on it, and I will try to fix it as fast as possible. I stand up to the challenge. All right, so
He tells me off.
I tell you off, so you can tell me off. The one thing, well, we have the QL core. If you saw it, if you passed it, we have a newer one. We're very soon to release it. What we have to do is actually hack the driver, because the driver won't execute now. It reads and writes to the QL, to the Next SD card, fine, but it doesn't actually execute, so it's basically useless. So if we hack it and we attach the part that executes on it, it should work. So we're close to doing that. I'm not going to tell you it's gonna be out of beta because it won't for a little while, but it's gonna be usable at least. And Theo and I will have a long discussion after you people go by and see how it works, and if you need any clarifications or you have any ideas, give them to us so we can discuss them and decide what we're going to put in and what it's reasonable and what it's achievable right now.
Yeah, that's actually the interaction with everybody testing the next cores over there, the QL and the Commodore, is super useful because we see demands that we didn't see when we were working on this, right? Theo was already saying, I need a key to swap joystick 1 by joystick 2 because the Commodore, each game uses a different port, right? And we have to keep swapping it, and sometimes, for whatever reason, one of the ports is used to pause the game.
Yes.
And there's, oh, it froze.
Oh, no, it didn't.
It's not frozen, pause, just put on the other one. It's super
We
weird.
also decided today that, for example, we need to set the network port
Commodore.
as a if you have a joystick in, you have to stop it. Like the default has to be off until you turn it to turn on. Because if you forget, you're playing your next games and then you decide to use the QL, or you just launch something from the QL the next browser. Because using the .core command, you can actually program the browser and you can select a QL application or a Commodore 64 application or whatever application that doesn't, it exists in it talks to a different core and not the Spectrum Next core. You can actually select it, it will launch the .core command, boot up the core transparently completely, and when it's done, you will return back to the next. So you basically can run, say, if we had, say, an Amiga program, okay, and we had an Amiga core, you can go with a browser, hit it, it will launch the Amiga. When you shut down the Amiga, it will go back to where you left it on the next, which is very important. So we figured out that we need to set up 2 user modes, the one that actually makes the machine, say, for example, QL, or SAM Coupe, or an Amstrad. And it can be like that until you tell them not to. Or you can actually put everything together, which is our preferred way, like at least some of the teams' preferred way of using the Next, having the Next central to everything. So instead of becoming something weird that you need to configure and make it difficult, or you can do everything as a Next program. Because you might want to use a program like, for example, Simon showed me and reminded me of one of the most amazing games ever, Fleet Tactical Command on the QL today, which is like an expansive game. If you like real-time strategy games, I think it's one of the best. You could actually launch it if you want to play it. You just want to play a game, and you're on the Next. You can actually go select it. It will know it's a QL game. Send it over to the QL core, boot up the QL core, put it in memory, make it run. And once you're done, you quit, it goes back where you were. And then you can go play Head Over Heels, for example. Or you can do the sheets and load like the spreadsheet application and go to editor or launch Next Guide. And then do a D64 file and then launch and play Turrican with a C64 core. There are issues we need to address and usability issues, which we need your feedback on. The Commodore 64 core is very difficult to distribute widely because it's not legal for us to do so. We will give it to people based on Kickstarter rules and using the emails of everyone that we have, so we can give you we can buy the appropriate amount of license, but we can't give it away just like that. We can give you a core without the ROMs, but you need to go in, for example, here and see how do we change the drive? How do we do this? Can we do it like this? We need your feedback on everything like this. If we don't have your feedback, which has to be constructive, obviously, and not just like trolling on the internet like we had recently in a couple times with a couple different people, which are very paramount to the Next community, and they got attacked for no reason. We have a personal friend of ours on the QL world that has one of the longest running sites for QL software. He got trolled and attacked repeatedly in one of the worst periods of his life. The guy said, F this, I'm shutting everything down, and made the site disappear off the internet. And actually required archive.org to delete it as well. We offered to pick it up, and we will on Spec Next as long as he agrees, and I think he will. I'm talking about Bill Wynn here, Simon. Yeah. But the whole point is, you
It's incredible how one or two people
can actually ruin everything for everyone. This is a community that's mostly, and you know, we get in a different territory here, not strictly Next, but as a community that's volunteer driven. A lot of people put their time and blood and tears and effort for free, okay, to produce something that they hope is useful or enjoyable to everyone. And a few people just like they feel very entitled, go up and screw it up for everyone. In the Next community, generally speaking, we don't see that much. It does exist, okay, obviously, because we're humans.
That happened with Dizzy, right?
Huh?
That happened with the Dizzy game.
It happens with everything, okay? It happens with everything, but we shouldn't. We should try to remember that every little thing we say, if we can create something, and if we can actually do something constructive, at the very least, we shouldn't actually extend our leg and trample somebody. You know, it's the best we can do if we can't do anything else. The ideal is to produce things ourselves, because we made the Next in such a way that's actually a ticker machine, so we can do stuff for everyone. But it's better if we'd actually, you know, just take a step back and say, okay, I don't need to say anything here. It might be funny to me, or but somebody's actually worked really hard to create this. And you know, it's better if we actually have something useful to say. So I plead with you, and you know, all our friends, because we have tons and thousands of friends right now around the globe. You know, if we can, just tone it down and try to enjoy the machine that we make, because we're really working really hard, all of us, to bring this to you. We're really, the only joy we get is when we see a smile on your face, really. But if you can, especially, I don't care about myself, but you know, we have a lot of people that put a lot of time and effort, and I would like you to protect them a little bit. That's all I'm asking, if you understand. Now, about what's it? Sorry.
See, you were talking about the guys that want to sort of beta test. Who do they contact? Just Spec Next.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to give out my personal email address, because the info is inundated with a lot of emails for other stuff as well.
I'm just thinking like for the next.
So the only thing you need to remember is my name, and then @specnext.com. If somebody wants to test stuff, they have to sign an NDA, obviously, for the C64. The QL does not need that, because we still don't have the license. If we have the license, everybody that gets a core is responsible for that core not to leak, obviously, out. Because the part of the ROMs, the core, we don't care, just keep it out. And we'll need constructive criticism on it and ideas. We have stuff that we already saw and the QL and the C64, that's why we bring them here. And tomorrow, I mean, you know, figuratively tomorrow, but you know, within the next weeks, we'll have the Amster core or the SAM Coupe core. We'll need you to let us know how we can improve them, and we're trying to find ways to make them talk to each other, because the important thing is for every single core to talk to each other. That's the only requirement we have from the Next, unlike the Mister and like other multi-machines, because there are a lot of them out there. We want to have a consistent experience for everyone, and it has to be the same way for everyone. Even if the operating system is not the same, we need to be able to have everything right to the same place, understand the same place, or at least find a way to talk to the same. If you said, for example, we had an Atari 2600 core, you can't obviously get stuff. It's pointless actually to get stuff from it, but at least you have to be able to launch through the Next or the QL or the CPC. You have to have the same procedure. Say, for example, in the QL core, we still haven't done it, but we need to write an application that will actually do exactly the .core command. Launch the thing, launch the core, the other core. every core has to discuss with each other. Every core has to know, to be aware of that there are other cores, and they need to be at least readable in a way that actually understandable by and take care that I can understand what does it have, what his machine is doing, what writes to the memory, and where. These things have to be open and have to be transparent. I mean, easy to use, not having to fiddle with 1,000 switches and 3,000 configuration commands. This is not a mystery, this is a spectrum. Okay, spectrums are easy to use. QLs are easy to use. This Sinclair, they are, and you know they are.
I know they are.
They're very easy.
But it's
People,
now going to be 10,000 more users who want to explore the QL.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we're making it the ultimate Sinclair machine here. Okay. It also we have other machines as well, but we want every. If we even want an MK14, and we'll have the MK14. Okay. We want all the Sinclairs all the time in one machine, if at all possible. But it has to be done right, and they have to be easy to use. So, to people that tell you, oh, well, the Mister is better, well, the FPGA is bigger, yes, but it's a bunch of PCBs that you have to connect yourself, and nothing is just quite right. Okay, everything has to be perfect. We might not get there immediately, but we have to make it. It has to be an accurate model of a spectrum. It is 99.9% accurate at this point, and with the new changes on the HDMI module, we'll be able to be, the timing is actually almost perfect, okay? We have to do that, if at all possible, with every core. That's why we have engineers that actually either know their machines or understand electronics very well, and can get timing and get stuff like that. We started as a hobby, okay, with Victor. Victor is good at what he does, and when a time came, he understood that he needed to pass the torch to someone else to get it one level higher. And we have to remember that this is a tough thing to do for anyone. You have Victor and, not Victor, myself, I'm building something, and I understand I can't take it further. It's very difficult to swallow your pride and give away your child to somebody else,
Yeah, but also the compromises, right? Sometimes there is no easy solution. When we first released the first core for the Next, it was 59.995 on NTSC and 49.95 on PAL. So it meant that you fully compatible. The timing was perfect. But surprisingly, like 10% of the TVs and monitors that it was attached to via HDMI didn't support that at all, didn't work, right? CRTs, fine. But the HDMI started to cry all left and center. We got all these people saying, oh, it doesn't work on my Samsung, it doesn't work on my LG or whatnot. So we had to create a core that is 50 hertz and 60 hertz, but Aquaplane hates it. So
finally, Aquaplane works though.
Yes, I know.
Finally.
But it took us a while to find a solution, right? And we had to do it in hardware. We have to put frame buffer and so on and things like that. And it took us an issue 2, and now the issue 3 is even better. But sometimes a problem like that, you never imagine that will hit you in the face, and it does. As long as we have good people on our side, we don't pull our hair out. Eventually we get it
we
sorted.
do pull our hair out, but eventually it grows back in.
Yes.
The whole point is that we'll be relentless as we have been. Sometimes we get a little bit sidetracked because there are other things that have a little bit of higher priority, but we don't let it go, and we will not let it go. Okay, you have to remember that there are a lot of more things going on behind us, behind the scenes, and things you don't see. We're happy to share if anybody asks, but sometimes, if you want to write like an update that's like 10 pages long, okay, you won't say, no, well, today I discussed with Elvin if, the core frequency of the HDMI is changed to 59.997 instead of 0.995. That is not, it will be important to a few people. It's there, but we don't necessarily volunteer the information because it's pointless to drown it in a lot of other things that people want to hear. But we won't hide anything, and if anybody is really interested, we'll let them know what's going on. Just, don't believe for a second that we just forgot about the issue. We didn't. We're working on it.
What is the current state of each one of the cores?
Well, that's a good question. I would. Theo is a little bit shy, so I have to, because we had this discussion earlier. The C64 core, it works. First of all, works 99.9% perfectly. Okay, but it's difficult to use. It requires you, when you boot it, to select either the cartridge or the floppy disk image.
Or both at the same time.
Or both at the same time. It actually can work with both. And you switch between them by hitting a button on the side. The keyboard is a little bit, it's a work in progress. It's not as smooth to use as the QL. The QL core is actually much better because we had feedback, and it's more intuitive to do that. It has keys, extra keys, but the QL is actually more Sinclairish in its thinking. So the Commodore, it has the extra keys that's very difficult to map, and we need to map them better. Right now they're not that great, and we also, based on the Commodore 64 core, and with the experience we have already, because the QL core was in public offering a lot longer, we figured out that we need to find a more consistent way to either load something of the SD card, which the Commodore 64 doesn't have a proper solution for it. Fat drivers on the actually our own Mike Daly has done work on it, and we're looking at it. We need good Commodore programmers to help us out, and we're in talks with people. You need to be able to load stuff off the SD, so you don't have to do all this reset, go back, do the load. It's usable. I mean, if the only thing you want to do is play a game, it's not a big problem. You just load the game to an SD card, and just reset it and launch it, and you play the game. That's it.
You need to start being nice to the Commodore people.
What?
You need to start being nice to the Commodore people.
Yeah, okay. I have to be nice to them because they actually were nice to us. Okay, and most likely they're going to put an X core. The one thing we want, and I think it's evident to everyone, that we don't care if this is the only Next you can get. I don't care if there's an NGO. I welcome 10 different models of NGO. I don't care if there's an Xberry Pi. I want Xberry Pis. Because some things we can produce at a decent price, some things we can't. And there are people that can actually get a Next to your hands for 100 quid or 50 even. Yeah, bring it on. The only thing we want is that everything is the same across the board. Like, our Next is the same as the Xberry Pi, and the Xberry Pi is the same as an NGO. And the same software runs everything without a hitch. That's what's important. And that's why we open source the hardware very early, and we can thank Enrique for that. Please, a big hug and a hand for Enrique, please, for that. For the open source, this is good. Plus, he's the master of the universe, but don't tell him that. Yes, I had a question somewhere.
Let me just get in the mic.
Your dilemma with the mapping of the keys. What are thinking about the dilemma you have with the mapping of the keys for these other cores, given that you get the extra keys when plugging in a PS2 keyboard in the back, you could essentially have like, for example, a Commodore breadth.
The answer is no. And the answer is no for one single reason.
Okay.
If a core does not use everything that's on the Next without anything else, it's not a good core. It's a Mr. core. It's we have a SAM core already. It runs on the KS1. It runs on the NGO. It doesn't use the keyboard. If it doesn't use the keyboard, then it's not a good core. It doesn't provide any value to a user that the only one thing that wants on his desk is this. I want to put this on my desk, plug in the damn monitor, and play. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to plug an extra keyboard or just an extra something. I want whatever it's on to make sure that it works exactly. I see a keyboard and I type O and there's an O on the screen.
It'll be a bit of kind of magic work, but we have enough key combinations that we can make it.
Just like we did the keys for the regular Next and next to the exhaust, but you do the function keys F1, F2, F3. You can do with a side button. We'll do the same.
Yeah, we'll
If
find
it's
a
too
way.
complicated, we just offer it, or the author offers it anyway without any expectation of usability. Our whole point is that the Sinclair cores are perfect, and whatever we officially offer is as perfect as possible. So we don't really want to add stuff to it externally.
Which brings us to the continuation of the question: how's the other course?
Yes.
The QL
The QL core, as we said earlier, has an issue with
executing.
executing but it's not the core's problem as far as the driver.
Software problem.
It's a software problem on this. But unless the software problem is solved, it's not really easy to use. You have to be a QL dude that understands container files and doesn't actually. I do hate them. It's the container files are the stupidest thing ever produced. Like unless it's actually absolutely necessary to use a container file, like you emulating something, a PDP, something from the 70s that had like magnetic tape. There's no freaking reason why you shouldn't be able to especially a machine like the QL that has a advanced operating system, to read a file off an SD card that you don't have to put inside another file and then put in a certain amount of, in a certain way. You shouldn't put the container file for the QL first in order to build the distribution. We know it's stupid, okay? I know it personally, it's stupid. I put it there because it had to be done for people to test it, okay? I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be able to hack the driver and give you a machine that will work seamlessly with the Next. It's very important, okay? We have to fix a few more things, like, for example, make the graphics mode more compatible with the Aurora. Aurora, for the ones who don't know, is a graphics card for the QL. It's been built since the '96, I think. Well, yeah, and the QL you had like $256 a long time ago. But the whole point is that they need to be standards compliant and very easy to use. And we have this issue still is not completely solved. And the thing that boots up micro drives and floppy disk drive images, you can yet have micro drives on the Next. This will be solved in the same way that we do the Commodore. Like, it's not a way you load on when you boot the core. You have to be able to bring it up or give it a command and it will load it directly from the SD card. Well, the QL core on the Next pretty much has solved this, but it still has to be in a container. Once you use the VFAT, you can load it up. Actually, with the VFAT, you can load it now. Like using the driver for the FAT32 filing system, you can still load an image and put it up. It will be cleaned up in any case. We'll have a more consistent distribution of software for it, so it's actually usable to you. Like with everything else. But the QL is easier because Sinclair, we know it well. With the Commodore 64, we have people that we ask what we can distribute, because we can't distribute it. I can't get GEOS out. I would love to give it to you, together with a Commodore 64 core. I can't do it because it has rights and it has rights issues. Why should I invest your time and money? Because basically I've been investing backers money on getting like software that's not really ours.
Yeah, but just to remind people, we are licensing the ROMs for every Kickstarter, 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, that's also too.
Yeah.
And plus, we have arranged that the people that have NGOs and Xperia Pis will have a special price, so they can go and buy them themselves.
Yeah.
That's an exception for that. We don't want anybody left out on anything. That's why we're trying to get like. Well, sorry.
We only have about 10 minutes left. Can we open it up to
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yes, okay,
I was
okay.
not aware of the
No,
time.
that's
Sorry.
okay. Does anyone have a question? No, that's mine. Here we go.
Hello.
You're
Sorry.
too tall. I'm not going to respond.
I have Commodore 64 related questions, so I
Yes,
apologise
go ahead.
first.
That's fine.
The first one is you mentioned the compatibility of the C64 core.
Yes.
It sounds really good. how compatible is the 1541 emulation? Is it good?
100% compatible. That's why it's stupidly slow.
Right.
But Jiffy DOS,
Okay,
if you have
brilliant.
Jiffy DOS, official Jiffy DOS, or you can buy it, you can replace kernel, and it works faster.
Are you saying it's slow just because the 1541 is slow? Because I know
Yes,
it is.
exactly.
I know
It's
horribly
slow because it's slow.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
no, that's
because
fine.
it's
It's
doing
not emulation,
exactly
it's
what it is.
recreation.
Okay, brilliant.
It's a full
Okay.
thing. It's the
Yeah,
right
I-
thing to use.
I use a 64 a lot, so I
Load,
I know
quote,
what it's
quote.
like.
Nothing.
Commodore
And the
64
other-
Ultimate does the same.
The other
word is
question is, will it support cartridge images like Action Replay and so on? And if it does, how will you?
The cartridge images, we're not there yet. No, he's talking about something else. We discussed, it's not hardware, no, it will support hardware in a very a future edition. Because
Okay.
there are certain things we need to take care of. First of all, it's electrical. Not necessarily everything will work. So what you do is you take this and the edge connector and you create a twister board, as we call them in Timex Sinclair world. We used to have twister boards because the Timex Sinclair 2068 didn't have a Spectrum compatible edge connector. So what you used to put to be able to put regular peripherals is a converter. So
Okay.
you need a converter that will go on it, and then on it, put the signals on before you can plug anything.
Yeah. Sorry, I actually meant an image of like an
You
action.
Action Replay is not just image; it has
Right.
other stuff on it. The stuff that's on it's only.
No, I know because it has the freeze button and
Yeah,
and
well,
so
this
on,
actually
yeah.
has hardware that we won't simulate, but
Okay.
there are cartridges that are actually games and stuff that already run. Okay, and there are cartridges that can actually have simple hardware that can actually run as well. The part that plugs stuff in, it doesn't work yet, and it will work in the future.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because I use a 1541 2 plus or whatever it is. You know, the Gideon produced cartridge you can get for 64.
Yeah.
So it's easy to that can simulate using an Action Replay if you want to create,
Yeah.
these images just as a kind of saves thing.
We look. It's a good thing to look into. The first thing we needed to do is to make something that works and gives value, extra value to a next user. He wants to play a Commodore game. I don't want him to go buy Mister. I want him to stay here.
Okay, have we got any other questions? I know you've got 1,000 questions, yeah? But we'll do what we can with the time.
Phobos.
Phoebus.
You know.
Phobos is
Phoebus.
fear.
What's the sexiest looking computer in the world?
What's the sexiest looking computer in the world? The QL. Sorry. It is. I'm sorry. It is. It's Rick Dickinson design.
We got one more question. I've got a gentleman in magenta at the back.
Next was the right answer, right?
Will it run a ZX Spectrum Plus 3, and would there be any way of wiring up physical?
So I can't hear you.
Will it run a ZX Spectrum Plus 3, and will I be able to connect physical
Yes.
3-inch drive?
We actually have, right now we have in production, and we're expecting the first, the only thing missing is the edge connector actually. With test boards, we have the extra signals already on the board. What will run immediately is the plus 2 personality will immediately get floppy disk access. So you have a plus 3, a 3-inch drive, it will read the plus 3 discs immediately, even the protected ones. Everything will work as it should. And the next, we're still far away from that because the code was removed by Gary. And putting it back in, it's complicated. It's not that easy. So I can't promise when it's going to be there. What I've talked with Gary is that he will put it eventually there. It takes testing. That's why one of the boards, the test boards for the FTC, is going to Gary. And it's one that's open source and you can find on GitHub, by the way. So we're not using anything. We don't make up stuff. It's stuff that if you have it for your next, it'll actually, if you have a plus 2, black plus 2, it will plug in and it will make you use drives. Okay, so it's something that already works and it's tested. We know what, we don't want to reinvent the wheel, in other words. But yes, the answer is yes.
Brilliant. There was a gentleman somewhere here-ish. I feel like a medium.
I got kind of excited when you mentioned 2600 and the Ataris. Is that just something that was an example, or is that something?
There is already a core for the 220.
But that's for the Kickstarter
2600.
one, isn't it?
The Kickstarter one.
But what about the kind of 3?
It doesn't take long. It's just the top file and then it compiles.
Beautiful.
It resynthesizes actually.
Fantastic. Get
The
myself some
problem
bulk
is
edition.
that we have for this,
Yeah.
is first of all, it's illegal. Which is a big
Don't do
problem.
anything illegal, kids.
And second of all, it only sees VGA. Well, we have a good working, thanks to Theo, we have a very good HDMI module for cores like that. That we, core authors share between them, because it's open source. Even the QL core is open source. You can go find it on GitLab. So yeah, it can be done very quickly. There are people that fiddle with FPGA. They're welcome to get the source. I will give it to them immediately. I just can't release it. Sorry.
If there is demand, I can certainly do the legwork to try to license it, right? You call Rosen and try to, hey, may
Break
we?
another leg of you.
Don't
Yeah,
break
it'll
the
be a
other
bit
leg.
limpy, but
We're
it could be
running
done.
low,
Keep it in
we're
with a
running low
box
on time. We've only got
after
5 minutes left, so I know you've got thousands of questions. Who's next? Who's next?
Crazy question. Would you consider making the C64 core C64 OS compatible? Just a crazy question, I know.
There's no crazy question.
There's no crazy question. Do you want a super CPU on it, first of all? Yeah, we were discussing about that earlier.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
look. We have a good super CPU, a soft IP core that actually works, and it's tested. But there are certain issues that are not of the. That's not the right time frame to
In the
visit,
future,
because
sometime.
we need to fix other stuff first, make other stuff work first before we go there, because it's very easy to get lost in the rabbit hole. Like, oh, we could do this, yes, we can do this, and start going that way. Well, you have other stuff unfinished on the other side. We don't want to do that.
That's why I said sometimes in the future.
Yeah, in the future, yes, it's doable and possible. We have tried it already, in other words, okay? Just like we originally we did the QL core with 68,000 only. And then we found the 68020, and then we put it in. And it was running on this a long time before we actually said, it's now running okay, try it out. It takes some time. With the QL core, I have to admit that I was a little bit rushed, and I jumped the gun a little bit, but at the same time, it needs to generate enough interest that the Next does many, many things. It's not just the Spectrum. It's the ultimate Sinclair machine. For us, this is the important thing. There's no better Spectrum and no better Sinclair machine ever than this. And if it's not now, it will be in the future, a very close future. But that's our goal. That's what guides us. And, again, as I said, the most important thing is to have people that are happy using it. Okay? And that's you. All of you.
Okay.
Okay, I think we've got time for just 2 more, if that's okay, or 3 if you're really quick. What we got?
Considering now that you want the Next to be the hub for all other cores, are you considering, don't laugh, but are you considering some sort of a graphical user interface? Because
That's a nice idea.
Right?
I've thought about it in the past. But look, we have a graphical user interface. It's called, kind of graphical, it's called the browser. Because in a way, it's Windows. It's a window. It might be text-based, but it's a window. It's, set up in a way. And you point and you click on stuff, because you can use the mouse, and you can launch a core with a program for another machine.
You're stretching it now.
I'm not sure you can do that. So supposedly, allow me, please.
I'm just nerd. You could use a mouse on the browser. Yeah.
The whole point is that the basic blocks for them, I was getting that, please. The basic blocks are there. Yes, it could be done. Not necessarily by the next team. Somebody can actually sit down. I have a guy over here somewhere that likes to do launchers. He could do it. if he wants to, you know, Richard. You gave him something, yes, it's doable. But, you know, some things are not that important for the team. Yes, we could do it. Obviously, we can actually embellish it ad infinitum. You know, you can actually do all kinds of stuff on every machine you have. Doesn't matter if it's a Noric one or, I don't know, a new Brave. You can do wonderful things. Today, I was reminded by Simon of a wonderful program that does molecular simulations on the QL. That, if you see it, you're going to go crazy how cool it is. Okay? It actually helps you understand chemistry if you look at it. And it's a machine that, what was that built in 1985? Was it?
Probably 86.
85, 86.
Swift.
It's what? Mark Swift. Yeah, it's 40 years old. I mean, come on. That's a 40-year-old program. And actually, I found out something that's very impressive. You can do stuff, okay, that's very impressive with very few things. It's not important for us to go and waste our resources on this when we can actually invest our
dedicate the resources.
Look, it's wasting when we can actually dedicate it and making something that actually embellishes, not embellishes, but tweaks it a little bit so it's actually something more usable than before. When we originally got the Next, all the hardware, well, most of the hardware was there, but it ran ESX-DOS. We didn't have Next ZXOS on it. It didn't make the difference. It was a cool Spectrum.ESX. It had extra stuff. Nothing was usable by any regular user. You had to get somebody that knew assembly or C or to have a tool that actually made it work. With a Next ZXOS and Next Basic, we gave you a tool that anybody can use it. Anybody can bring up super graphics and move a sprite on the screen and do stuff that's funky. You don't have to have special knowledge to do it. That's a good use of resources, I would say. So using resources to do something, a small embellishment you can do it anyway, I think it's wasteful. Whereas, you know, and eventually we will get to that, let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Okay, just before we take one last question, is anyone driving a black Range Rover? AK09PKX? Black Range Rover, you're blocking someone in? I'm not having any luck with this today, am I? Right, last question. Okay, by the way, the guys are here tomorrow at 4:30. 4:30 tomorrow if you've got more questions.
Yeah, maybe this is a good last question.
Maybe.
How you guys are doing an amazing job.
They're doing an amazing
totally
job.
impressed. Really, it's amazing. It's a level of commitment that I find just admirable. And so I'd like to understand. Maybe you can summarize in like very clear and actionable terms. How can we best help you do what you're doing?
The answer is simple, I think, before you get to what I think you want to get. We're not doing a great job. You're doing a great job.
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
The users are doing a great job. If you weren't there would no reason for us to, well, we'll build it for ourselves. And we just discuss among ourselves, oh, look what a cool job we did, and then just go for a beer. Okay? We exist because of you. So the one that does the great job is you. The one thing I told you earlier is that we need good feedback and useful things that are not crazy. Like, if you take like 5 minutes and say, how could I make it better? And if it's doable, and how many resources we'll use. If you actually put a common sense in your questions towards the platform, then you know what to ask or what to offer us as a suggestion or as a question. And if this is done in an accessible way, that's what you can do to help us. And actually, even more, support the authors, the software authors.
I'd
like to add to that.
And read Next magazine.
One of the big ones is there's incoming new users all the time, and the team members can't answer every question on Kickstarter, on Facebook, on Discord, on the forum, because Alan pours out a huge number of answers technically. If you see something useful,
that's because he's AI. He's not a real person.
That's what it stands for. Alan's AI. But if you keep it in your head, you've learned that. Help someone else who can do that. I like it forward.
I like to add as well. Write software for the machine. If you don't know how to program, you've got the world's best machine for learning to program. You've got an excellent manual you can read.
You have an
can
excellent
get
extra
started
book
with
if you want.
basics, maybe learn machine code later. I'm sure there'll be other languages, C and stuff like that. Write more software, because without the developers, without the software, without the ecosystem,
The
machine
machine-
is nothing.
yeah. It's a
I
paperweight,
wish I
very
had a
pretty
Palmer
one.
video here. Developers.
Yeah,
And with that, we'll have to round things up. Thank you very much. Can I just remind you all, we're turning this into a party room. Meet you back here at 8:30. Okay, 8:30 for the band.